Hey, you guys, it's me, Kiana, coming at you today, and I'm coming at you because I try to use my channel for many different reasons. As you can see, it's pretty hard to put me into a box on my channel. You know, there's channels out there that focus on one or two things, and that's great because they are doing good at what they do. But as for me, I think my channel represents what we as women do, which is wear many hats. And although we can't be perfect, although we're not going to excel in every single area that we touch, the reality is that we as women, we have to juggle a lot. And we do a lot. And even if we don't do, you know, as well as we think that we should, the reality is we still try, we still attempt. And I think that, like I said, my channel is a direct reflection of that. So I like to use my channel at times as a platform for us to explore, for us to think about things, for us to analyze ourselves. We're so busy analyzing everybody else. We're so busy focusing on everybody else. If we really take the time to turn that energy on ourselves and turn that energy on working on ourselves and promoting our own personal growth, whether that's spiritually, whether that's emotionally, whatever area of growth that you need. If we took that energy that we focus on everybody else's life, if they doing, if they how they look, and if we take that energy, which is useless energy, if we take that energy, it's not useless energy, it's used on useless things. That's what I should say. Because whatever we think about somebody else, it doesn't change because we think it. If we have an opinion about somebody else's life, guess what? Their life still goes on, whether we have an opinion about it or not. So therefore, to me, it's useless. It's useless energy. If we take that useless energy and turn that into something that's helpful for ourselves, then I think that we will be better people, better women, better mothers, better wives, better servants of God. So, as you all know, if you've been watching my channel long enough to know, that I have been on a personal journey of growth. I think that we all come to that place at some point in time. No, let me rephrase that. I think that we all should come to that place at some sort of time. Because the reality is we all don't get there. We all don't attempt it. But I think that we all should. And it's not about being perfect. That's far from what it's about. It's about being the best that you can be, and the best in those areas that you want to be, that really moves you. For instance, you may want to be the best mom you can be. You may want to be the best employer or employee that you can be. You may want to be the best wife you can be. Hopefully you want to be the best servant that you can be. And I like to sometimes use my channel for us to talk about those things. You know, there's so many things out there that we talk about that are pointless. We talk about that we walk away from it with nothing. We walk away just as empty as we came in. And those things are fun. Those things, you know, bring a laugh or two. But I think that when we only seek those things, when we only focus our energy on those things, I think that it starts eating away at us. It starts, you know, it's a silent thing. It's not something that you know is going on. That's why you have to be careful what you put in your spirit, because you don't know that the stuff that you're putting in or you're being around is actually being absorbed into you. So I'm saying all that to say that at times I like to include you guys in on things that I sometimes think about. Not all the time I come to you guys and talk about it. because, you know, to each his own, and some things you don't have to express, some things you don't have to share. But I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was really profound. It really was thought-provoking. And I felt compelled to share this with you. Sometimes I ask myself certain questions, and I asked myself certain questions, and I was surprised to actually get the answer, and I wanted you guys to actually answer the question as well. And I hope that you find it thought-provoking. I hope that it makes you wonder and ponder, and I hope that it instills something in you, and you actually come in one way, but you leave out after this video not empty, receiving something and something productive. But the two questions I asked myself was, if God was in the room with you, which of course His Spirit is with us all the time, but what would you ask Him? I know the Word of God tells us sometimes we believe that we're not supposed to question God, and it's not about, you know, going against the Bible or questioning Him. It's just, you know, something for us to think about. And like I said, the question is, if He was in the room with you physically, what would you ask Him? What question would you ask Him? And I'm going to answer these two questions too, so bear with me. The second one is, what do you miss most about childhood? And I want you to really think about these questions, and don't just say, you know, I miss penny candy, or I miss jumping jacks, or I miss, jacks, playing jacks, or I miss Barbie dolls. No, really, really think about this. These questions, I want you to think about them as if they are life-changing questions, as if this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And when I looked at it like that, it really did make me dig deep. And I'm going to answer the questions for you right now. The one question I would ask, it's really hard to narrow it down. If I say, if God was physically right here next to me, what question would I ask Him above all questions? It's loads of questions I would ask. But when I really, really dug deep, there was two, even though I'm only allowed one, but I'm going to cheat. One would be, will He welcome me into His heavens? And the other is, why does He allow good people to die in horrible manners or painful manners? And as I was digging deeper, it's made me think about things that I've seen in my lifetime, when I've seen people die of cancer and other painful deaths, and I've seen children be killed, and I've even known personally a child that was almost starved to death. I even know one person that in my local area that actually died. Her mom had AIDS, and her sister took care of her, and she wouldn't feed her. And nobody knew she was there, but she was in the basement, and they never let her out. And that young lady died. And the sister is actually in a Maryland state prison forever. But when I dug deeper, I came to a place that told me that through others' suffering and through others' pain, there are lessons. And I've tried to think back on, like I said, things that I've seen happen that were tragic, when I've seen people die, good people, wonderful people, people with good hearts, people that lived their life for Christ. And they died horrible deaths. They died painful deaths. But I do sit back and remember that some of the people, not everybody, because everybody is not willing to receive. Everybody's not, their eyes are not open to the light. Everybody's not looking for the positive or the silver lining. Everybody's not on the same path of growth that some of us are on. But when I really think about it, the people that were not blinded to receiving, we were taught wonderful lessons through their pain, through their suffering. And I'm speaking for myself, but I don't even know how many people were changed, were, matured in certain areas, were received a lot of received growth from that experience, received anything from that experience. So, in watching the suffering and watching the pain of the transition from the earthly world to the spiritual and heavenly world, we learn so much. We gain a lot. And I said to myself, well, maybe that is the plan. Maybe that is the lesson. But the human side of me still says that that person had to go that way. Because even the spiritual side, we all have a spiritual side. Hopefully we all have one, or we all embrace it. We all have one, but some of us don't embrace it. We still have that human side, and God understands that. He accepts that as well. And it just makes me, like I said, when I think about good people that actually have to die these painful deaths, and I kind of answer my own question because there is a lesson in it. Jesus died on the cross, and he had to endure. He had to endure for all of us. It's the same thing. You understand? There was a lesson. There was a tragedy that turned into a triumph in his suffering, through his suffering. So that was one question. And the other question was, what do I miss most about childhood? Well, what do I miss most about childhood is freedom. What do I mean by that? When you're a child, you're free of a lot of things that us adults are no longer free of. You can check that for me, honey? Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to fry daddy chicken. Anyway, our job is never done. Anyway, freedom. Like I said, as adults, we are weighed down by so many different things, and we lose our freedom in a lot of ways. Sure, we're not in shackles, and we're not encaged in jails or behind bars like, criminals or like animals or whatever. But life takes away our freedom in a lot of ways, and let me explain. When we were children, we were free to be hopeful. We were free to believe and think that we can accomplish all things. And we believed that. We didn't just have to tell ourselves that over and over and over again to convince ourselves. We believed it. We were free to explore without repercussion. We were free to not have to worry about certain things like bills and, things like that. When the next notice would be coming and, responsibility. We were free from that. We were free to be who we were without explanation, without questioning or second guessing. We were free. Now, we sometimes, even the most confident person, second guess themselves. We were free from people putting their opinions on us and their thoughts and what they think of us and all that kind of stuff. We were free from that. Because even though we all experienced, we had people's opinions when, we heard people's opinions when we were younger and all of that, it didn't weigh heavy on us at times like it has, periodically in our lives as adults. Sometimes those opinions of others, they burden us down if we let it. If we don't move on and grow from things and get to a place where those things don't faze us. And like I said, everybody's time of arriving is different. Um, Arriving to that place. So I miss freedom. I miss being free to, like I said, explore. Now the things I think of the things that I did when I was younger, I was like a daredevil. I would never do them now, because I had that freedom. I had that mindset that was truly free. Now, because we know that we shouldn't do it for whatever reasons, because we know it may not be safe, because we know it's going to be repercussions, because we know that others are watching, because we know that it's not either God's will or God doesn't approve, or whether society doesn't approve, whether it's the law wouldn't approve. We have these thoughts in our heads. Now, whether we make the right decision or not, we still have these thoughts in our head. When we were children, please, it wasn't, those thoughts really didn't, even if they popped in our head, oh, mama going to get me when I come home, they didn't weigh so heavy on us like it do now. So I miss that mindset. I miss that free mindset. I miss that. So I hope you guys think about that and maybe put your answers below. Again, the two questions are, what do you miss most about your childhood or childhood in general? And what do you miss, what do you miss most about your childhood or childhood? And if God was physically in a room with you, sitting next to you, what question would you ask him? Put your answers below. I love you all so much. Talk to you guys later. Be better. Do better. Be blessed.